Alright, what's up guys? It's your boy DIVIJ with Swanee. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Today is episode 2. I'm actually in the streets of New York City right now, so I apologize if it gets kind of noisy in the background, but I'm obviously doing this on my phone, so I'm going to do the best. Well, yeah, there's people honking. So it's definitely going to be noisy, but I'm still going to do it because I got a lot going on today, and I want to knock this out before I get going. So today's podcast, I want to talk about what it's like running a media company and building a social media marketing agency, whether you're in college, not in college. I want to talk a little bit about my experience running my company called DIVIJ Media. And basically what we were doing was, social media marketing, content creation, of course, and as well as, branding, consulting, and PR. So those were kind of the main services we focused on, as well as web development. And I started the company probably 6 to 8 months ago. Actually, probably a little bit more. Probably last March or April maybe. But basically, what it was I wanted to see. I was seeing a lot of these videos of people like Ty Lopez and Gary Vaynerchuk and how they were building these social media marketing agencies. And of course, I did agree with the fact that businesses often have a hard time, with various things related to media because they're not really well versed in technology and everything with social media. It's kind of fairly new still, so a lot of this older generation doesn't really understand how Instagram works or how Snapchat works or how Twitter works or which platforms are getting the most attention. And of course, wherever the attention is, that's where the most money is. So that was kind of the reason I started the company, because I felt like I could sort of leverage the trend of social media and, try and build a business around that. So basically what I did was, of course, created my sole proprietorship, and I went into the venture alone, but I did end up actually bringing on a partner, an unofficial partner, which is actually going to be one of the learning lessons here in a little bit. And I just realized doing podcasts is hard because you're talking and you kind of run out of breath. So I apologize if in between I kind of take a second to gather my breath or whatever, but so yeah, basically it was it was myself, kind of did it by myself, called it DIVIJ Media just because DIVI, like it's in my name, is my name is DIVIJ and it was DIVIJ Media, so it kind of just happened. And I was actually running a nightlife company called DIVIJ Group prior to that, doing promotions and for One Oak and Poppy and all that, so it kind of just made sense to create another division of my company called DIVIJ Media. And basically, like I said, created my the sole proprietorship, and got my permits and everything that I needed in terms of the legal side of the company, which is very, very easy. All you got to do is file for sole proprietorship, get your EIN, which is your employer identification number. But when you're a sole proprietor, you can actually use your Social Security as that number. So that's kind of just a little about the legal side. But once you get all those paperwork filled out and get everything kind of settled, I moved on directly into just doing cold calling, cold walks into companies in LA, mostly just local businesses, and of course, doing a lot of advertising in terms of online and social media marketing. So those are kind of the three strategies that I relied on, but I was more focused mainly just on the door knocking part, or not door knocking. It's more like door knocking businesses as opposed to houses, and the cold calling aspect of the company. So that's what I was focused on. I was spending a lot of time, calling a couple hundred companies a day. And soon enough, actually, within the first 2 weeks, we actually signed our biggest client, which was probably the most exciting part of this company that I was doing. So basically, me and my buddy Efren, he was an ex-investment banker, graduated from USC, ended up moving back to LA to pursue entrepreneurship. So we actually decided to we actually rented a Ferrari. It's a funny story. We rented a Ferrari, and we decided to go around LA and just walk into random businesses. And it's so funny because I apologize, hold on, there's a bus going by me, but we basically took this Ferrari. It was a red 458. We were just driving around LA, decided to go to random businesses, and we were driving past this bridal salon, and we were like, yeah, should we go in? Like, I don't know. But Efren was like, yeah, dude, let's just go in. So we ended up parking the Ferrari right outside the shop, walked into the wedding dress. It was a wedding dress company, not a wedding salon. It was like, where they sell bridal dresses, that kind of thing. So we go in and we say, hey, we run this company. We'd love to help you out with your social media. And at first, it was a mom and a daughter. I'm not going to say any names, but I'm not going to tell you what the company's name was just for confidentiality purposes. But basically, the mom was like, oh, I don't know, but then the daughter was like, yeah, man, like I've been looking for this, help for a while. So we ended up, giving him our business cards. We went back and, met up with him again and kind of kept in touch in terms of actually trying to get them as a client. And within 2 weeks, we had the contracts. We drafted the contracts. And then, mind you, this was the first time we ever did it. So we had never really done contracts. So we kind of just threw something together that we had laying around. And we ran it by our USC lawyers. They have people, lawyers at USC, which you can leverage if you are new to entrepreneurship or whatever you're doing, if you need any legal help. So we did that. We kind of just hustled through it. And we ended up landing a meeting with them, sat down with their lawyers, and sure enough, signed a contract for a pretty good amount of money. It was, I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but I'm going to say it was between $4,000 and $6,000 a month. And that was kind of the focus for us, was just to build on that contract and do as much as we could to actually deliver. Because mind you, we were pretty new to all of this. And of course we had, I had been doing websites for companies on the side, and I was doing a couple, I had a couple different social media accounts, but nothing to this scale in terms of, what we were actually delivering on a monthly basis. We were delivering PR services, branding and consulting services, content creations. We were doing YouTube videos for them, and of course social media marketing, Instagram, Facebook, running ads, all of that. So we had clients before this, but this was kind of, our biggest client in terms of the more services that they wanted on a monthly basis. So ended up, it was funny. It was hard, you know what I mean? Like with just me and Efren, I'm not going to give his last name again for confidentiality, but, trying to deliver on these different services was a lot harder than we expected, and we didn't actually know a lot of what we were doing, right? So content creation, I'm not a videographer, I'm not a photographer, but I sort of had to wear all these different hats. And if they asked me to come in and do a shoot, I'd have to get my tripod, my camera, and go in and do a shoot for them, and then go home and edit the videos. And when in reality, that wasn't really part of my skill set. But again, we had to figure it out. So we did end up hiring interns through our USC, resources. We hired a couple interns. We had them doing a couple tasks. We'd pay them out for writing press kits and doing various individual tasks. And that was definitely helpful for us. But again, managing everything and doing school at the same time was definitely difficult. Was not easy. But again, the money was cool, right? So we wanted to make sure we held on to as much cash as we could. And this is where things went south for us. And I take full responsibility for this. But going from making not much a month to making $5,000 to $6,000 a month is definitely a big jump. Overnight. And well, it wasn't overnight because I'd been grinding for such a long time, but making that kind of money instantly was like, wow, like I can go get a car now, like I can lease a car, I can pay my own rent. But that's where I should have kind of taken a step back and said, wait, let's reinvest this money back into the business instead of spending it on, going to get drinks at 41 Ocean in Santa Monica, or, wasting money on clothes and on this, buying unnecessary shit. And that's where I kind of went south with the company, was I didn't really focus on the growth, and I didn't focus on, how can we get more clients from here? How can we build on this and build it from, $4,000 to $6,000 a month to $20,000 to $30,000 a month? And that's where things, kind of went south, and which is where I'm at today, is I'm trying to build back up to where I was. And yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is once you do start making money, which to get to that point, you really have to hustle. You got to kind of figure things out, wear different hats, and kind of just play the role of the entrepreneur and try to figure it all out. But once you do start making money, I think the learning lesson and the most important thing is to make sure you focus on growth for the company as opposed to just taking the cash and kind of just blowing it doing nonsense stuff. I think the key is growth. So definitely a learning lesson. If you guys have any questions in terms of the specific process I went through of, actually setting up the company or actually getting clients, feel free to hit me up. I'm going to put all my information, in the description, and of course it's on my SoundCloud. Go follow me on all social media. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be dropping a mentorship and e-commerce training course pretty soon, working on it at the moment. And of course I've got my jewelry company, SHOPDMND. That's SHOPDMND.com. Go check that out. We sell high quality, affordable jewelry. And of course got DIVIJmedia.co. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. And thanks again for tuning in to the Daily Grind. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode as well. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be on, but it'll definitely be interesting. And I'm going to bring as much value to you guys as I can. So thanks again, guys. It's your boy DIVIJ. Peace out. Take care. Be safe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's podcast. Bye.